In this assignment, we're going to learn how medical terminology works. But before we get started, let's cover a couple of things to check that you are ready to start this assignment. First of all, verify that you can see this part. It will show you the different steps that you are going through and also the option for help, which is called mentor. This is the person guiding you during the test, and when this section is not grayed out, you can click here and get some hints to complete your work. So in this assignment you will face a pre-assessment, some learning activities, and finally a post-assessment, which is the part that is graded and counts towards your grade. Okay, so once again, check that you see this. If you can't see this, you won't be able to complete the assignment, and we need to do a couple of adjustments. Okay? If you don't see this progress bar in your screen, it means that your screen is too big and you need to make it smaller by clicking the zoom out options. In order to do that, you will click and press down and hold down the control key, and you will press a couple of times the minus key until you see this progress bar. Once you can see this, you're ready to start your assignment. So let's click on continue to get started. Okay, the pre-assessment consists of 15 questions to check how much you know about the topic. Don't worry, this is a pre-assessment, it's non-graded. This won't affect your performance in the assignment. It will show you how much you know before we get started. So please read the question, pick one of the options, and then click submit. As you see here, this is page 2 out of 56. Your assignment will end when you reach the last page. So let's read this. After a lifetime of smoking and poor diet, Colin developed abnormal hardening of the walls of his arteries. This condition is called, and you have several options here. Okay, so I'm gonna pick one. And click submit. You're gonna get some feedback telling you if your answer was correct or wrong. And then to move into the next question, just click the forward arrow. Once you finish the pre-assessment, you will see a summary showing the score you get on each question. Now you can continue with the next step. Remember, this is just for you. This score is not going into your grade book. This is only for you to check how good you did on this part. I'm gonna click continue and see what's going on. Now we're gonna learn how to build words using parts of it. As you see, this is page 18 out of 56. After the video ends, you need to click on the continue option to go into the next step. This is probably one of the steps you may get in trouble if you don't have your screen adjusted at the right size. You need to see this in order to be able to continue. So remember, if you don't see this part in your screen, make it smaller by clicking and holding down the control key and clicking the minus key a couple of times until you see this part here and your mentor's image. Now we click continue to go into the next page. In this exercise, we're gonna drag and drop words in order to create new medical terms answering the question shown here. Okay, in this case, as you see, the mentor option it's on. So if you don't know the term or you're not sure about that, you can ask the mentor. Click here and you will see how he gives you some hints on um, which word could be the one we need. So let's try that. Okay, so now we have a hint and we can use cold, here, and the ending part is an excretory opening. Now let's check what suffix means an artificial opening. Okay, have you ever heard the word ostomy? Let's try that. So the full word will be colostomy. And let's check it. And you get some feedback. Correct. But even if you get it wrong, you will get some feedback. So it's important to read this so we learn as we complete assignments. I'm going to click continue and we'll be presented with the next word. We're going to keep going until the next part of the activity. After you finish that part, you will be presented with a second video. Okay, after this part, when you finish watching the video, you click continue and jump into the next section. This is page 28 out of 56. Okay, so it's the same type of exercise. We're gonna drag and drop word parts, prefixes, word roots or combining forms, and suffixes until we get the right answer for the question up here. Once you finish that exercise, you will be presented with a summary of the learning activities. This is what you got as a score, but this is just for you. This is not going into your grade book. So let's continue with the last part, which is the post-assessment. In this section, you will be presented with 15 questions to test your progress in this activity. Okay, after selecting the right one, click submit until you finish all the 15 questions. As you see, this is page 40 out of 56. Once you complete all the questions, you will be presented with the post-assessment summary. This is the score that goes into your gradebook. Okay, so now we are on page 50, 55 out of 56. So we're gonna click continue, and this is our last page. It will represent you the whole exercise grading. We will present the pre-assessment, the learning activities, and the post-assessment. And here is a note. This score will be posted as your final module grade. This is the grade that goes into your gradebook. Now that we are done, this is the last page, we need to close the assignment by clicking on the X on the upper right corner. We're gonna click here. That will close the assignment, and you will be presented with the summary of your grade. This is the grade that goes into your gradebook.